All right, welcome, guys. This is going to be the quickest live stream of the year. I know this is a crazy slate, but I want to leave at least a minute or two for questions. I'm going to go so fast. Let's go over what we know so far. All right, going over Aldridge, out. Steph Curry, Draymond, out. That's huge. Jeremy Grant, out. Sabonis we're still waiting on. The Knicks guards we're still waiting on. Let's see. Buddy Hield, questionable, pretty big. He played big minutes. Again, D Rose out, Kawhi will play. I like Kawhi at the top. I think he was a bit lower owned since he got ruled in just before lock. Kaleo, questionable. Al Horford out. Jeremy Grant out. Pistons once again shorthanded. Zion Williamson out. Let's see. We're still waiting on some news here. We're still waiting on Bam, Jimmy, I believe. We're still waiting on those two. All right, let's go team by team really quick. Toronto. Lowry at the top. I like him. Should play 40 minutes. Number one option. I think he goes lower owned because of the matchup. I like him a good amount. Powell for tournaments. He shot 14 of 20. He's not going to do that again, but he'll be the number 2 on offense. Boucher, minutes fluctuate. Viable for tournaments. Value, no thank you. There's better value on the slate, in my opinion. You can take a shot on Terrence Davis and hope he hits the shots, but again, I think there's better value on the slate. Boston, no thank you on anyone. Moving on. Clippers, Wizards. Clippers, I like Kawhi at the top. Again, he got ruled in after just before lock. I think that will lower the ownership. I don't see any reason why he's going to be limited. I haven't heard anything about a minutes limit, so I think he plays 35 to 40 minutes. A great matchup, and he's priced at 9-1. So really like Kawhi. You can still go to Paul George, too. I'm just off Reggie Jackson now with Kawhi in, so really like Kawhi, really like Paul George at the top. I think they're two of the better plays of the slate. Value, no thank you. Wizards, Westbrook is contrarian spend up. That's it. No thank you on Beal. No thank you on any other value. Moving on. Detroit, New York. Detroit, kind of a headache, but no Grant, no Wright, no Jackson, no Griffin. Plumlee, again, he has triple-double upside. He did a triple-double last game. I like him at 6.4K. Should be able to feast against Nerlens as well. Sadiq Bey, no thank you. Dennis Smith Jr., viable for tournaments. Not playing huge minutes, though. Revenge game narrative. Again, a little risky because of the minutes. Then we get Wayne Ellington, Svi Mikhailiuk, Rodney McGruder. I know you guys probably want to throw up when I mention these guys' names, but they're going to have to play big minutes. Wayne Ellington, 26 minutes. Very reliant in the scoring. Svi Mikhailiuk, also very reliant in the scoring, but played 37 minutes. And Rodney McGruder off the bench, played 26 minutes. So I think all three are firmly in play. If I had to pick one, it would be Svi because he played the most minutes last game. Can you take a shot on Saben Lee still? Sure. Again, he's kind of splitting the minutes. I wouldn't play both him and Dennis Smith Jr. If they limit Dennis Smith Jr., it's going to be Saben Lee. That's it for Detroit. Moving on to New York. Randall at the top, I think, goes a little bit overlooked in the slate. Again, this is 100% a stars and scrubs slate, but I don't think Randall's going to be super popular. Good matchup. We're still waiting on Alfred Payton. We're still waiting on Frank Ntilikina. If they're both out, I'm going to Emmanuel quickly. He would probably start at point guard, probably play big minutes. They also do have Austin Rivers you could use as a punt play. He is, I believe, min price. Nerlens as well, fine, but I think there's better ways to go for in the mid-range. Moving on to Denver, Jokic at the top, and that's really it. Again, this is really setting up for the stars and scrubs build, so I don't know how you go to the mid-range when there's so much value on the slate and there's still good spend up. So Jokic, I like a good amount. No thank you on anyone else in Denver. Pacers, no thank you on anyone. Domantas Sabonis is questionable. I think we're still waiting on that news. If he's out, if Miles Turner does get a boost, a little bit worried about the foul trouble though, and then maybe like Goga. They might start him. We'll see. If he does start, you can use him as a punt play, but I think there's probably better value. So even if Sabonis gets ruled out, wouldn't be a ton. Again, Turner would get the biggest boost, I think. I think he would be a good, GBP play. You can still go to Brogdon, but again, I think there's just so many good guys at the top. McDermott, sure, gets a slight boost. I just never like playing that guy because he's so scoring dependent. Milwaukee, Memphis, again, with this being a stars and scrubs slate, obviously Giannis is going to be one of the top plays, and I agree with that. He's a guy that's been playing phenomenal. He's playing huge minutes. As long as this game stays close, I'm expecting 38 to 40 minutes. So really like Giannis at the top. Middleton, Drew. There's absolutely no way I'm getting to either. Why on this slate? Again, doesn't make sense. Value, no thank you. Moving on to Memphis. John Morant, Jonas Valanciunas as contrarian GBP plays, I think are viable. This game should be played at a faster pace. Jonas Valanciunas, if you played him last two slates, you should be tilted because you've gotten very unlucky. 2 slates ago, 5 fouls in like 10 minutes. Last slate, 3 fouls in the first quarter, smashed in the second quarter. If he did not get in foul trouble in the first quarter, would have won for 50 plus at low ownership. But yeah, I really liked, I don't really like. I think Ja and Jonas Valanciunas are good contrarian plays on this slate. Value with slow-mo back, I just don't think we have to go to Bane and Winslow. With all the Golden State value, with the Detroit value, possibly Miami value, I don't think it makes sense. So let's move on to Miami. We're still waiting on Jimmy and Bam news. So again, this changes everything, right? If Bam and Adebayo's out, it's going to be Kelly Olynyk. It's going to be Precious Achiuwa. Would really like both, depending on the starting lineup. Okay, so we got Lowry, Powell, DeAndre Bembry, Stanley Johnson, and Aaron Baines starting. That is such a gross starting lineup. Oh my God. Again, you can punt with Bember, you can punt with Stanley Johnson. Toronto still has a lot of guys they can use. So it's like there's no guarantee for minutes for those guys, right? We saw Yuta Watanabe start last game, play 11 minutes. Terrence Davis played barely 20 minutes, would have played under 20 minutes if it wasn't for the blowout. So just be careful with those guys. Yeah, you can use them. I think there's better value in the slate. But yeah, back to Miami. So if there's no Bam, it's Kelly, it's Kelly O and Precious that I do like a good amount, depending on the starting line. If Precious Chua starts at the center, really like him. If they move Kelly Olynyk to the small ball 5, I really like him too. So let's keep an eye on that. If Jimmy Butler's out, it's the guards. I know Hero, Dragic, Nunn haven't been great recently. They only scored 80 points the last game. Like, what on earth was that? But yeah, there's no Jimmy and no Bam. I think the two bigs and probably one of those guards is where I'm going to look for. It's a good matchup too. On the New Orleans side, no Zion Williamson. Again, crazy slate rule, doubtful. So with him doubtful, Brandon Ingram becomes a good play in the mid-range. He should be the number one on the offense. I think he's a solid play. Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, firmly in play. They're going to have to do more offensively. It really, Zion has been phenomenal. So it's like all these guys get a pretty big usage boost. Eric Bledsoe, he's playing really consistent minutes. I think he's a safer play because of the price. And then Josh Hart, I'm assuming he gets in the starting lineup. If he does start, I think he's a decent play as well. So really have interest in those main guys: Ingram, Lonzo, Bledsoe, Josh Hart. All right, 3 games left. I know, guys, I'm going fast, but just it's kind of short on time here. So no Al Horford. Yeah, Isaiah Roby probably starts. Is a decent play, but I don't love the price of 5.4. Muscala will back him up most likely and is a viable punt play. SGA at 9K, interesting contrarian spend up. Not a ton of love here. I will mention Ty Jerome. He's been getting some decent minutes off the bench. I think you can use him as a value play as well. Moving on to San Antonio, honestly, not a ton of love in the Spurs. Aldridge is out, so you can use Pirtle the mid range, kind of contrarian center play. DeRozan and DeJounte Murray will go overlooked. It's hard for me to get to the guys in the mid range with there being so much value. So I think they're both decent plays, good matchup, but neither are priorities. Nothing else in the Spurs. Sacramento, Portland. This is a game you can 100% stack. So we're still waiting on Buddy Hield news. If Buddy Hield's out, Fox, Barnes, Bagley, Holmes all look good. Probably Bielitsa as well. Let's start with De'Aaron Fox. So I think he will go overlooked in the slate. Had a subpar game last game, but a guy that should play close to 40 minutes. Great matchup too. Barnes, Bagley, Holmes all firmly in play as well. Barnes playing big minutes, close to 40. Rashawn Holmes is playing a little bit more minutes than Bagley. I think he's a decent play there in the mid-range. And then Bielitsa has been getting some run off the bench, 22, 24 minutes. He's a guy that is actually a decent point per minute guy, so I get to see going to him for value. All right, let's go to Portland. Damian Lillard at the top. I don't think it's going to be super popular. Love the matchup here, though. He shot 6 of 17 last game. I think he goes a little bit overlooked because people will box score watch, but I do like Dame at the top. Enes Kanter, I really like too in the mid-range. He's one of my favorite plays in the mid-range because Sacramento's a big team. They're terrible on defense, and as long as he stays out of foul trouble, I'm thinking we get 35 minutes. Now, again, this game, small ball. That's why he didn't close. Same thing with Golden State. So didn't close last couple games, but this is a bigger team. I think he closes in this one. I think he's a good contrarian play there. Finally, Golden State and Phoenix. So we need Kelly Oubre news. We already have Steph Curry out. We already have Draymond Green out. If Kelly Oubre is out too, you're going to want some value here. So I think Wanamaker's the obvious play assuming he starts. I know, Brad Wanamaker chalk, that's never, ever let us down, guys. Never. Always comes through for us. But assuming he starts, I think he's one of the best value plays. Kent Bazemore started last game for no Kelly Oubre, played 31 minutes. He's a good point per minute guy. If there's no Oubre, I really like Kent Bazemore. And then we just got a lot of other guys we can look to, depending on what Steve Kerr does with the starting line. Juan Toscano Anderson, I'm guessing he starts with Draymond. If he does, he's one of the best values in the slate. And then we have guys like Damian Lee, Eric Pascal. Again, maybe they start Pascal instead of Toscano Anderson. We'll see. Again, Damian Lee, he'll have to play more. So really, all these guys, all the bench guys, really for Golden State are firmly in play. And then, I know I don't really like playing this guy, but if Kelly Oubre is out, we already have Steph Curry out. We already have Draymond Green out. It's going to be the Andrew Wiggins show. So this is the one slate I think you can play Andrew Wiggins. I am very, very much considering playing Andrew Wiggins tonight, especially if there's no Oubre. Now, if Oubre's in, then it's Oubre and Wiggins at the top. Probably Wanamaker, Toscano, Anderson. Then that makes the other value a little bit riskier. So again, we'll just have to see what Steve Kerr. He'll probably just troll us all and come out with like the most random starting lineup, like maybe Nick Mannion, Jordan. He'll just like troll us. I can already see it happening, but yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that starting lineup. Finally, Phoenix. Not a ton of love here. It is a good matchup. Booker, Paul, Ayton firmly in play at the top. No real standout plays there. All right, so that was it, guys. Couple minutes for questions. I know that was really, really quick, but Yeah, I think that's basically what we got here. Domantas Sabonis still game time decision. John Morant, Bane, Brooks, Anderson, Valanciunas. Again, Bane's starting, but I don't love the price on him, especially with Memphis getting a little bit healthier. We need, Zion confirmation. We need the Knicks guards. We need Sabonis. There's still a lot up in the air. This is just going to be a headache slate, guys. It's going to be a long, long night. But all right, let's get to some questions. Wanamaker, Golden State. Yeah, probably. Okay. Would Wanamaker play in a blowout? Probably not. They have other, guards on the bench they can use. You were funny if you think I'm playing JV for a third time. Yeah, man. If JV stays out of foul trouble, I think he could have a decent slate. Really, you didn't mention Wiggins? No, I think Wiggins is a good play for sure. Assuming Kelly Oubre is out, he's one of the better plays in the mid-range. Fox or SGA is a good question. I'll go Fox. I'd rather throw my money in the trash than play Wiggins. But again, we gotta look at this slate. All right, no Steph, no Draymond. If Kelly Oubre is out, I think he looks really good in the mid-range. Top three values, I think the Golden State value, depending on the starting lineup, Golden State value, I think we have the Pistons value. So that's really where I'm looking to for value at the moment is those two teams, Golden State and Detroit. I think, it's probably those guys. Yeah. So again, we have like Wanamaker, Toscano Anderson, Bazemore, Lee, Pascal, Detroit, we have Svi, we have Magruder. It's all kind of gross value. Like you guys know, I hate playing Svi Mikhailuk, but I'm really considering playing him tonight because he played 37 minutes last game. So that I think is where you want to look for value is those two teams. Westbrook or Randall's a good question. I think I'll go Randall. All right. Better 3K value, Wanamaker or Magruder? I think Wanamaker if he starts. Not a new setup. I'm just here temporarily. So yeah, no green screen for today. But yeah, I'll be back in Chicago in a couple days. Giannis and mid range or PG and Ingram. Depends what mid range player that is. I think this is leaning for that Stars and Scrubs slate, Stars and Scrubs build. But I do really like Paul George. I do really like Brandon Ingram. So it depends who that player is in the mid range. Josh Hart and Olynyk. If Bam, yeah, that's fine. Again, I really like Kelly Olynyk and Precious Chua if there's no Bam. Westbrook, okay, I already went with that. DeRozan for cash. I think for cash games you play 3 stars. I think this is really the Stars and Scrubs slate. So I don't think I get to DeRozan for cash. Not saying he's out of play. I'm not really looking to Daniel Tyson this slate. Kelly Olynyk, yes, if there's no Bam. Max value plays from Golden State. Depends. If Kelly Oubre's out, I think you could play 3 plus Wiggins. Thoughts on TJ McConnell, 9 steals first half. I already tilted about that in my video. 9 steals in one half off the bench. Thoughts on Wanamaker's fee, Bazemore, Toscano, Plumlee, Fox, Giannis, Jokic. Yeah, so that's kind of the build I'm looking to, right? Value for Warriors, value for the Pistons, and then the Stars. Corey Joseph, a healed sits. I would probably rather get to Bielitsa. Corey Joseph is a really low usage guy. Robert Covington, not out of play. He has been playing better recently. If I jump off roof before, if I JV or Wiggins. Okay, starting with the value. Lowry or Ingram? That is a good question. I'll go Lowry, but that's basic coin flip. Terrence Davis on the bench. Again, I think there's better value than the Toronto value. I'm not saying the Toronto value is out of play, but I think I like the other value. I think I like the Golden State value more. I think I like the Pistons value more. All right, one more minute, guys. Sarge, it's just a contrarian play in this slate. Quickly. Yeah, so Quickly I would really like. If both those Knicks guards get ruled out and Quickly starts, I really like Quickly. Now, again, they could troll us and start Austin Rivers. And if they do, you could punt with Austin Rivers at mid-price. But, yeah, Quickly would be a guy I would look to in the mid-range for sure if both those Knicks guards are out. Oh, yeah, I'm excited. That's in like an hour. I got to get ready for that. Yeah, you can use Sarge. I don't know if he gets a big boost with Cam Johnson out. They might just throw minutes to like those guys at the end of the bench that just make you want to throw up, like Abdul Nader and Etuan Moore. Oh, my God. Can you fade Giannis? Yes. There's other stars. Jokic, Westbrook. There's other stars you can get to. Paul George, Kawhi. So you don't necessarily have to play him. How many minutes do you think from Magruder? Well, how many minutes did he play last night? I would say pretty similar, because the Pistons are pretty shorthanded. So he played 26 minutes last night. That was a blowout, maybe a little less. So I would say 20 from Magruder, I think. The Twitter tells you. Appreciate that, man. Boucher in play, yes, is a risky play. Sarge or Bazemore right now. Olynyk, Pascal. Olynyk if there's no Bam. Is it okay to fade Giannis and Jokic? Yes, if you're playing other stars. There's still other stars. Giannis quickly or Ingram PG. The first one, if both those Pistons guards are out. Precious or Eric Pascal, it depends. I'm only playing Precious Achiuwa if there's no Bam. And he starts. I think if he comes to the bench, you can still use him to be riskier. I think it's $24. Kawhi or Paul George. I'm going to give that to Kawhi. 14, I believe. All right, guys. I know that was super, super quick, but I do have to get out of here. So thanks again. This is the last game until the All-Star break. So we got a little bit of break here, and then I will be back, obviously, for the second half of the season. So good luck to everyone. I know we're all going to tilt. Golden State, I can already see it. Steve Kerr is just going to tilt. He's just going to put out the most random starting lineup ever, and we're all going to have to panic. Any love for Dennis Smith Jr.? You can use him for tournaments. It is a revenge game. He had a triple-double last game. The minutes are not going to be amazing because Saban Lee is still going to play. I would not play both. So, yes, that's the answer to that. Lillard, Lowry, Jokic start. Yeah, that's good. DeJounte Murray, Chris Paul. I don't love either, to be honest. I guess CP3. Fox or Paul George? Paul George. Good luck tonight, guys, and I will see you all later.